Valentine's Day, a day for hearts and flowers, chocolates and candlelight, a day for love. But sometimes in the shadow of Cupid's wing something darker lurks. A chilling reminder that even on this day when we celebrate the best of human emotions, the capacity for evil persists. We're about to explore the darker side of Valentine's Day, a side where love stories turn tragic, where romance curdles into violence, and where the holiday's sweetness is tainted by unspeakable acts. These are true stories, stories of love gone wrong, of jealousy, rage and despair. Stories that remind us that even on Valentine's Day, danger can lurk in the shadows. Valentine's Day, a celebration of love and affection, has also been the backdrop for some truly harrowing events. Here are 3 chilling true stories that underscore the darker side of this romantic holiday. Dallas, Texas. A city known for its big dreams and even bigger hearts. A place where the warmth of the people matches the heat of the Texas sun. It was supposed to be a Valentine's Day, like any other for the Allison family, a day filled with love, laughter and togetherness. A day for celebrating the love that bound them together, a love that seemed unbreakable. But fate, it seems, had other plans. The clouds of misfortune were gathering, unseen and unanticipated. Raisha Allison, a young mother, was full of life, her smile as bright as the Texas sun. She was the heart of her family, her joy infectious. She adored her children, a newborn daughter cradled in her arms and a bright-eyed 5-year-old son. Her love for them was evident in every gesture, every word. But behind the facade of a happy family, a darkness was brewing. The pressures of life were taking their toll, unseen by the outside world. The Allisons were struggling financially, the pressure mounting with each passing day. Bills piled up and the weight of their financial woes became unbearable. Arguments became more frequent, the tension in their home as thick as the humid Texas air. The love that once filled their home was overshadowed by stress and frustration. On that fateful Valentine's Day, the simmering tensions boiled over. What should have been a day of love turned into a day of horror. What began as a heated argument between Raisha and her husband Roger escalated into a nightmare. Words turned into shouts, and shouts turned into something far more sinister. As their young son watched in horror, Roger, consumed by rage, pulled out a gun. The room, once filled with love, was now filled with fear. 8 times he fired, 8 shots that extinguished the light in Raisha's eyes. Each shot a devastating blow to the family they had built. Leaving her lifeless on the floor, their newborn daughter still clutched in her arms. The cries of the baby echoed the heartbreak of the moment. Imagine the terror in the eyes of that little boy, witnessing the unthinkable. His world shattered in an instant. His mother snatched away in a torrent of violence, the image seared into his memory, a haunting reminder of the fragility of life. The image seared into his memory, a haunting reminder of the fragility of life. A moment that would forever change him. Roger Allison was arrested, the weight of his crime pressing down on him, the reality of his actions sinking in as the handcuffs clicked shut. He was later sentenced to 80 years in prison, a lifetime to contemplate the devastation he had wrought, a lifetime to remember the family he destroyed. Raisha's family, left to pick up the pieces of their shattered lives, channeled their grief into a mission. They refused to let her death be in vain. They became advocates, raising their voices to warn others about the dangers of domestic violence. Their pain became their purpose. They share Raisha's story, a tragic reminder that love shouldn't hurt, that help is available, and that sometimes the most important act of love is to walk away. That help is available, and that sometimes the most important act of love is to walk away. In Raisha's memory, they fight for a world where love is safe and kind. The Hookman. A name whispered in hushed tones, a figure that haunts the shadows of our collective imagination. His story is one that has been passed down through generations, each retelling adding a new layer of fear and intrigue. He's the stuff of urban legends, a cautionary tale told to keep young lovers from straying too far from the porch light. Parents would often use his story to instill a sense of caution in their children, warning them of the dangers that lurk in the dark. But what if the legend is rooted in reality? What if the Hookman is more than just a figment of our darkest fears? Could there be a grain of truth in the tales that have been spun over the years? The story usually unfolds on a lover's lane, a secluded spot where couples steal away for a moment of privacy. These lanes, often hidden away from the prying eyes of society, become the perfect setting for the Hookman's tale. The air crackles with anticipation, the darkness outside the car windows a comforting blanket. The couple, lost in their own world, is unaware of the lurking danger. Then the radio crackles to life. An announcer's voice, urgent and grave, warns of an escaped killer, a madman with a hook for a hand. The atmosphere shifts instantly, the once romantic setting now tinged with fear. Fear prickles the skin, the romantic mood shattered. The couple's minds race, their thoughts consumed by the terrifying possibility that the Hookman could be nearby. The couple, shaken by the news report, decides to leave, their hearts pounding in unison. They fumble with the car keys, their urgency palpable as they start the engine and drive away. They drive home, the silence punctuated by their nervous breaths. Every shadow on the road seems to take on a sinister shape, every rustle of leaves a potential threat. Upon arriving home, they notice something strange. Dangling from the car door handle, a chilling reminder of the radio report, is a hook. The sight sends a shiver down their spines, confirming their worst fears. The Hookman, it seems, is no mere legend. His presence, whether real or imagined, leaves an indelible mark on those who encounter his story. While the exact origins of the Hookman story remain shrouded in mystery, there are whispers of real-life incidents that fueled the legend. Newspaper clippings and old crime reports hint at a series of unsolved cases that bear a striking resemblance to the Hookman tale. Tales of couples terrorized on lovers' lanes, of strange noises in the night, of a shadowy figure with a gleaming hook. These stories, whether true or not, have a way of embedding themselves in our collective consciousness. The Hookman legend, whether rooted in fact or fiction, serves as a chilling reminder of the potential dangers that lurk in the shadows, especially on nights like Valentine's Day, when love and fear often walk hand in hand. It is a story that continues to captivate and terrify, a testament to the power of urban legends in shaping our fears and imaginations. Let's step back in time now to the year 1972. It was a time when the world was captivated by the eerie glow of the television screen and families gathered around to watch their favorite shows. The flickering light of the television illuminates the living room, casting long shadows on the walls. The atmosphere is thick with anticipation as the family settles in for an evening of entertainment. On screen, a chilling tale unfolds, a story of betrayal, murder, and unexpected terror. The kind of story that sends shivers down your spine and makes you glance over your shoulder. Tales from the Crypt, a horror anthology series known for its macabre twists and turns, offered a Valentine's Day episode that chilled viewers to the bone. This particular episode was no ordinary tale, it was a masterclass in suspense and horror. The segment, titled "And All Through the House," takes place on Christmas Eve, but its themes of domestic unrest and violence resonate deeply with the darker side of Valentine's Day. The juxtaposition of festive cheer and sinister undertones creates an unsettling atmosphere. A woman, her heart filled with murderous intent, takes the life of her husband, her actions fueled by a toxic mix of resentment and greed. Her cold, calculating demeanor is a stark contrast to the warmth of the holiday season. She dreams of a fresh start, a life free from the constraints of her marriage. Her mind races with possibilities, but little does she know her plans are about to be shattered. But her plans are soon derailed by an unexpected visitor. The sound of the doorbell echoes through the house, signaling the arrival of a new and terrifying chapter in her life. An escaped mental patient, dressed in a Santa Claus suit, arrives at her doorstep, his intentions as twisted as the candy cane clutched in his hand. His presence is a grotesque parody of holiday cheer. The woman, trapped in her own web of deceit, is forced to confront the consequences of her actions as the homicidal Santa Claus wreaks havoc around her. Her carefully laid plans unravel in the face of this unexpected horror, while a work of fiction, and all through the house, serves as a stark reminder that holidays, often associated with joy and celebration, can also be a breeding ground for conflict and violence. The veneer of festive cheer can sometimes hide a much darker reality. It's a chilling reminder that beneath the veneer of festive cheer, darkness can lurk, and that sometimes the most terrifying monsters are not the figments of our imagination, but the people closest to us. This episode of Tales from the Crypt remains a haunting example of how horror can be found in the most unexpected places, even during the holidays. As we have journeyed through these chilling tales, we're reminded that Valentine's Day, for all its beauty and romance, also has a darker side. It's a day when passions run high, when expectations soar, and when sometimes love takes a tragic turn. These stories serve as a stark reminder that beneath the veneer of romance, danger can lurk. They remind us to cherish our loved ones, to communicate openly, and to recognize the warning signs of toxic relationships. And so, as you celebrate Valentine's Day, remember to temper your joy with vigilance. Love deeply, laugh often, and hold your loved ones close, but never forget that even in the shadow of Cupid's wing, darkness can find a foothold. These stories serve as stark reminders that beneath the veneer of romance, Valentine's Day can harbor real-life horrors. It's essential to remain vigilant and prioritize safety even during celebrations.